What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. In today's video, we have some news that has just gone live on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, and that is the announcement of the Treasure SUGO-FEST. So this is the brand new SUGO-FEST that is going to be promoting the brand new treasure map characters, being Ben Beckman and Apu. Both of these characters are going to be extremely useful in the treasure map Boss versus Kizaru, which is confirmed to be the actual boss character that we are farming for this upcoming treasure map. So in this video, we're going to be going through the SUGO-FEST details, whether or not you should be pulling, and also at the end of this, we'll also just go through the brand new Clash, which is the Clash Luffy, the Tankman raid boss. So I'll be going through that towards the end of the video, so there'll be a timestamp in the description if you guys want to skip to specifically that raid boss. But anyways, let's get straight into the information that we have at hand. So this SUGO-FEST is going to be running from the 17th all the way to the 23rd of September, and it says Treasure SUGO-FEST is here, of course, and it is just promoting the fact that we have the brand new Apu and Ben Beckman here, and also the fact that this SUGO-FEST is going to be guaranteed 4-star or above, which is great. Obviously, you know, Global haven't had silvers in a SUGO-FEST for, I don't even remember. I think literally every single SUGO-FEST since the anniversary has been gold only, so that's fantastic. And additionally, new Ben Beckman and Apu will arrive, and they'll come with max sockets. Obviously, they have 4 sockets, so Despair, Bind, Auto Heal, and Charge Special. However, if you get the unevolved version, they will not have Charge Special, so they'll just have Auto Heal, Bind, and Despair. And I believe they come at max level as well, so that's actually fantastic. And of course, additionally, all new trusty characters, all new characters will be trusty characters for the upcoming treasure map in September, and they will no longer be in the rare recruit after the end of the SUGO-FEST, but they might return a little bit later. And it also mentions as well that the Apu and Ben Beckman will have boost, trusty character boost for their 5-star and their 4-star versions, like what they've been doing previously, where if you have the unevolved version of the character and you have an evolved version, you can use them on 2 separate teams and get really significant point boosts because of that. Now, this SUGO-FEST is going to be split into 3 separate sections from part 1, 2, and 3. The first part is only for the first 24 hours, from the 17th all the way to the 18th, and I'm just noticing right now that the SUGO-FEST starts 1 hour later on the 17th. I'm not too sure why they're doing that. There might be a maintenance or something. I don't know why the SUGO-FEST starts at 8 PM PST rather than 7 PM PST. That's really weird. I think there might be a maintenance or another maintenance that they might put out prior to the actual treasure map, but I'm not 100% certain. Hopefully we get a little bit more information as to why that's the case. But anyways, for the first 23 hours, I guess, is going to be part 1. Then it's going to be going to part 2 from the 18th all the way to the 20th, and then part 3 will be from the 20th to the 23rd. Now, I'm not 100% sure when the actual treasure map starts. It's definitely not going to be starting at part 1. It typically starts, you know, the day after part 2, so it might be from the 19th, it might be from the start of part 3 maybe. I'm not 100% certain when the actual treasure map will start. They'll put up a banner soon enough with information regarding that, and when we do get the full boosted list of trusty characters, I'll be making a separate video with the team compositions as well as the boss information about the upcoming treasure map, so make sure to look forward to that. Now, moving over to the SUGO-FEST structure, for only part 1, the 10+1 rare recruit 1st and 4th are going to be 30 rainbow gems. So you can do 4 multis for 160 gems, which is pretty awesome. You're basically doing 4 multis for the price of 3 plus 10, which is actually pretty awesome. That's really good that they're now making multiple different multi-pulls within the structure being 30 gems, and that's great. And this is the part 1 structure. I'm pretty sure in part 2 as well, that will also count for that as well. So you can do lots of these 30 gem multis and potentially get your hands on some useful characters, including some new legends as well. So on the second multi-pull, on part 1 only, you're guaranteed to get evolved new Apu, which is great. Always good to get a hold of those characters guaranteed. I'll be doing at least, probably just the 2 multis, because in terms of the raid boosted characters, I don't really need any of them at this current point. So for me personally, I'll be doing 2 multi-pulls on part 1, getting my guaranteed Apu, and that'll be about it for me personally. Then moving on from that, on part 1, the 3rd, 6th, and 8th multi-pull are guaranteed to be a SUGO-FEST exclusive character, and on the 10th and the 12th multi-pull, they are also guaranteed to be a SUGO-FEST exclusive character. However, there will be rate boost boosts for certain characters. So for part 1 raid boost, you have Luffy and Ace, the dual characters. You also have V2 Rayleigh, you have V2 Doflamingo, Corazon, Hody, Shirahoshi, Dogstorm, and Quick version 2 Law. So that's a very interesting raid boost list. Like, pretty much, like, the top 3 characters are fantastic. Shirahoshi is really good. Hody Jones is not really good for high level content. V2 Law's kind of outdated in my opinion. So honestly, it's a really weird boosted list, but I mean, Luffy and Ace, V2 Rayleigh, and V2 Doflamingo are extremely tempting. Now, moving on to the part 2 and the part 3 structure, we have the fact that Ben Beckman, the new character in the SUGO-FEST, will be significantly rate boosted with his 4 and 5-star versions. As we know, when they state that they're going to be further rate boosted from part 1, that they're going to have double the rate. So I believe in part 1, the Ben Beckman has a 0.4 chance to get, and in part 2, he'll be 0.8 chance to get with each of his rarities. So it's 0.8 in total from part 1, I believe, and then it should be 1.6% in part 2. I think that's exactly how it goes. But moving on from that, also on parts 2 and 3, it's going to be 30 gems for the first multi-pull and the 4th multi-pull, which is great. Great, always getting those discounts. So if you are tempted to continue going on doing pulls on part 2 and 3, you can just spend those 30 gems and get a free multi. Well, not really free multiple for 30 gems, but you get 20 gems off, which is always good to conserve your gems, of course. And then on the 3rd, 6th, and 8th is going to be a guaranteed red, of course. And then 10th and 12th is like before, it's a guaranteed red with higher chances to get certain characters. So on part 2 of the SUGO-FEST, there's going to be high rates for Shanks, Lucy, well, that's Shanks V2, that is. Lucy, you have Nico Robin, Dex Crocodile, Psylor, Int Sanji, Cyboa, and Quick Lucci. This is a very interesting list as well. I mean, Shanks and Lucy and Robin are fantastic units, and then the ones just below are a little bit outdated, so it's interesting that the way they're doing this. And then for part 3, you have V2 Akainu and Aokiji boosted. Then you also have Frankie boosted, V1 Boa, Marco, Bato, Usopp, and V2 Fuji. Man, that's a really interesting list as well. Like, pretty much every list has, like, half of the units are amazing top tier units, and then the other half are complete trash. So it's going to be interesting to see. If you guys are missing some of these rate boosted characters on these days, you might want to give it a shot. But honestly, looking at these characters, I would probably save your gems for the upcoming new batch to come out, being the new Gear 4 Legend or Tankman Legend. He's fantastic, and that SUGO-FEST should be really, really good. So I would suggest you guys to save your gems for that. But anyways, let's continue on with this. Now, on part 1, these are all the legends that are available. I'm pretty sure all the legends are available on every single day. It's just the fact that some characters will be rate boosted on certain days. But here we have the actual, the rare recruit characters that are going to be boosted. So we have the new Apu and the new Ben Beckman. Both of these characters are strength characters. And then we have brand new Sengoku, Hina, Garp the Fist from the Luffy and Ace batch. So we've got all the rare recruits from the Admirals are going to be available on part 1. Some of the Luffy Ace batch, some of Robin's batch. Reiju's going to be boosted as well. Rebecca, Pika, Koala, Cavendish, Diamante. So some pretty decent units, some pretty decent rare recruit characters. Part 2 is going to be, it's very similar. It does have the latest batch being the Admirals with brand new Hina and Sengoku. Then you've got some new characters here like Little Oz Jr., Strength Marco, who's a great rare recruit character, Kiros, Yonji and Niji, Jesus Burgess, and then some older ones. And then for part 3, in terms of the rare recruits, we're going to have access to the new batch, of course. Kobe, Nami, Sugar, Viola, Bellamy, Ichiji, and then some of the older characters as well. So this is a pretty interesting SUGO-FEST. If you guys are missing multiple characters on certain rate boosted days, those are obviously the days that you should be pulling for. But as I suggested, I probably wouldn't go past 3 multiples unless you really want to get your hands on Ben Beckman. The Ben Beckman character in this SUGO-FEST is fantastic and is going to be very useful for like lots of future treasure maps, kind of like the Valentine's Boa that came out with the treasure map SUGO-FEST. She's a really useful character that's going to be good for a lot of future treasure maps. This guy's going to be the same thing. He's a really good chain locker, and I believe he's also an orb booster as well. Such a good character. Apu is a little bit more utility based. He isn't really that great, but for this specific fight, he's going to be quite useful. So if you guys are really wanting to get your hands on Ben Beckman, then you might want to go for him. However, for the majority of plays that I would suggest, maybe do not go past 3 multiples is what I would suggest anyways, and then, you know, saving your gems for the upcoming Gear 4 Sugo, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. I really cannot wait for that. I know a lot of people are waiting for that Gear 4 Legend, so that's what I would, you know, suggest to you guys. But overall, it's not a bad SUGO-FEST. You know, still having gold only is great. And, you know, with every single day, half of the raid boosts are good and half of the raid boosts are kind of trash. But still, you know, you might want to try your chances and maybe you might have some really good luck. And right before we end this video, let's go ahead and do the Clash Tankman or the Clash Luffy 30 stamina raid boss dungeon. So the team that I'm using is a double Hody Jones team. This team will enable it so you can farm this extremely quickly. It's a pretty accessible team to make as well. I do have the Strength Monster Chopper fully max limit broken in this video as well, or in this clip, because he has some cooldown reduction with his limit break, which is extremely useful. Now, the only other rare recruit character, or he is the only other rare recruit aside from Hody Jones as the captain. Then you have 3 free-to-play characters. I'm using the Blackbeard ship to enable my cooldowns to be much lower, and that basically is it. And pretty much you only have to use your specials on certain rooms, and for the final room you just burst. Having the Strength Monster Chopper is pretty useful for this specific fight, because what's going to happen is the Tankman Luffy on the final stage will input a Rainbow Shield damage reduction buff, so having the Strength Monster Chopper on your team enables you to remove that buff, and because you are using a Hody Jones team, you just will be able to farm this extremely quickly. I didn't even know this was a secret stage with a whole bunch of rainbow characters. That is pretty goddamn cool. I had no idea that was here. But let's go ahead and move on to stage number 4, use the other Hody Jones special, and we can also go ahead and use our Waratsume special as well, even though it isn't really needed. But if we didn't encounter that Rainbow Evolver room, then, you know, this would make it a perfect stall team. You do not need to stall at all. You just activate the certain specials and you get all your cooldown reductions, because Hody is just so goddamn good. So, he does have the Rainbow Shield here. We can go ahead and activate our Monster Chopper special, which will go ahead and do a bit of damage and also remove it. Then we can go ahead and also activate our Neko Mamushi, who gives us a full water matching orb and also the type boost. And then we can also activate the Fujitora for a little bit of damage and also the orb boost, and that enables us to get a whole lot of damage. That's a lot of damage, and we're able to kill off Luffy extremely quickly. So this is the team that I'll probably be using to farm this. Tankman Luffy is actually a really good character. He is a pretty good unit, and I would assume that he's also going to be a trusty character in the upcoming treasure map. So I would suggest picking this character up and trying to max his special. He's very easy to clear, and he is a good character overall, so I would highly suggest doing it. You can also drop the skill books of this character as well, which means that you're going to be able to max his special that much easier. Also, this is a really good way to get sockets for any other Luffy character that you need a socket on your account. But that is going to conclude this video, guys. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to smack the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.